Hello everyone. In this lecture, let's learn different ways to extract the data from Oracle database using CX Oracle package. Let's design a code, Python file, extract Oracle. Let's import CX Oracle package to communicate with Oracle database. Let us also import config parser to get the credentials from config file. Import config parser. Let's create the configuration properties. Config is equal to config parser dot config parser config dot read configuration file name. Credentials dot cfg. Let's create database connection. Connection equal to cx oracle dot connect. Let's get the database credentials from config properties. Config of oracle user config of oracle password config of oracle host config of oracle port config of oracle database. Let's execute the code and check if the connection is successful. Connection is successful. Now let's create cursor. Cursor will enable us to execute the commands on database. Cursor equal to connection dot cursor. Let's execute a statement. Data is equal to cursor dot execute. I have a table called employees in my Oracle database. Let's execute this statement and print the result in Python. dot fetch all. Let's print the data. We got list of tuples. Let's print the list of tuples into new line. Let's loop the list and print the records. For row in data, print row. We have printed all the records in new line. We have a method fetch1 which will return only one record. Basically the first record. We have a method fetch many where we can define number of lines to return. Let's return 5 records. So it would return first 5 records. We can also print required column. The index of the tuple starts from 0. 0 of 0, row of 1, row of 2. Let's print first 3 columns of the table. So we got employee ID, first name and last name. Now let's get cursor description. Let's say description is equal to cursor dot description. Let's print description. Now let's create a function and extract the data from a database within a function. Let's create new Python code. Extract Oracle function. Let's import CX Oracle package. Import config parser. Now let's create the function. Def Oracle connection. Let's read the configurations. Let's define the connection. Let's open a cursor and execute the statement. Let's print all the records. For row and data, print row. We have successfully created the function. Let's call the function. This way We can extract the data within a function. Instead of printing the records, we can return the record and utilize the result in another function. Now let's define a class, and then within one function, let's provide the credentials, and in another function, using the previous function, let's connect and extract the result from Oracle database. Let's create Python code, extract Oracle class. Let's import cx Oracle, import config parser. Let's create a class Oracle. Let's define init method first. This will help us to utilize the variable across the methods. Def init. Let's create a variable connection, self.connection equal to none, self.cursor equal to none. This init method will enable us to access this variable across the methods within a class. Now let's create database connection, def Oracle connection. Let's read the configurations. Let's read the configurations. Let's create connection. Self.connection is equal to self.cursor is equal to self.connection dot cursor. This way, self.connection and self.cursor would be assigned to this self.connection and self.cursor under init method. And we no need to return the values over here. The variables would be, the variables can be called anywhere in a class. Let's create another method to extract the data. Def extract, and let's call the previous method in order to establish the connection, self.oracle connection. data is equal to self dot cursor dot execute. Let's use the same statement for row in data, print row. Let's create an object. Object name ETL is equal to classes Oracle. Using this object, let's call the method ETL dot extract. Data is extracted. This way, we can create a class, and in one function, we can define the connections, and in another function, we can extract the data from database. So this way, we can use the connection only once and then use the same connection to extract multiple statements from the database. We can also execute multiple statements and retrieve multiple statements. We can insert or delete or merge any records in the database within multiple functions. Thank you. See you in the next lecture.